How to get rich. I know that's why you bought this course. You're sitting here thinking, I want to be rich. How do I do it? I'm going to tell you exactly how you get rich. But you may not like what I'm going to say to you, but it's the fucking truth. There is no easy way to get rich. And I'll tell you why. The nature of money, this is once again something else I understood at a very young age. The difference between you and me is very little, except I had a head start on you. Well, you were 18 acting like a dumbass. I was 18 getting shit done. So I've had a head start. So from 18 to 28, I amassed my millions. But it's not too late for anybody. Listen, the nature of how to get rich is because of the nature is very difficult because of the nature of money. Money is not something you can earn or make. People talk about making money, earning money. Money is something you must convince out of the hands of somebody else. Money belongs to someone else. You have to convince them to give it to you. That's why making money is difficult. Because if money is something you could make, it wouldn't be difficult. If money is something you could earn, it still wouldn't be that difficult. You really have to convince other people to give you the money. And that's the hard part. Because when you understand that reality, then you have to sit there and decide, okay, I have to convince this person to give me money. How do I get as much money from that person as possible? That's what you need to focus on. How do you make yourself so high value that they'll pay enough for your service, regardless of what your service is or who you are as a person? Because there's a beautiful woman out there who gives, okay, there's a service, she gives a blowjob. But even then, there's beautiful women out there who give nothing and still get given money by guys because they're high value, because they have something, they have beauty, they have something the man wants. You have to discover, what is it that I have that other people are going to want? That's the first thing. And secondly, how can I get them to give me a lot of money for it? That's the basis of it. So let's go into it in more detail. How to get rich is as follows. You need to understand. In fact, you need to get a pen and fucking paper. You need to write this down. I'm going to struggle to get rich. You are absolutely going to struggle. It's going to be very, very difficult. I did on my podcast with CNQ, I told a story about when I was really at my brokest and how I ate the same meal every day for about 9 months. And I called it flavor because it had no flavor. And it was basically rice. I used to buy a 10 kilo or 20 kilo bag of rice for like $20. It was rice, it was kidney beans, because I read the back of the cans and they had the most protein because you get cans of kidney beans for like 9p, like 10 American cents back then. So 10 cents. They had more protein than meat. I divided it all up for the value, for the money spent. I got the most possible protein from kidney beans than I did even meat. Because I'm anti-vegetarian, I don't like the idea of vegetarianism. I think it's a disconnect from reality. Humans have always eaten meat, we always will. To start pretending that's bad or wrong is something a bit wrong up here. So I'm an anti-vegetarian. I bought the cheapest possible meat because I refused to eat a meal without meat in it. But really my protein was coming from kidney beans. So I had rice, kidney beans, the cheapest possible frozen meat, and then just for greens, the cheapest thing I could buy was frozen peas. And I ate that every single day, 3 meals a day for 9 months, because it allowed me to feed myself for a month on about $90 or $100 for a month. Me and my brother, 2 full-grown men in combat training, eating 4,000 or 5,000 calories a day. We just ate piles of this flavor. It had no flavor. Ate. I said this on the CNQ podcast. And this is when, back then, the reason I had so little money is because I was spending all of my money trying different businesses. Because you are going to struggle to get rich and you are going to fail over and over and over again. All of these people say it. Ty Lopez, Grant Cardone, they all say the same thing. You have to be ready for failure, blah, blah, blah. And people go, yeah, I get it. No, you don't get it. You have to be ready to fuck up because you're going to fuck up. Because there's no magical formula. If you try your first ever business and you make money with your first ever business, you're probably going to fuck that up anyway because you don't have any experience with losing money. You need to fail to succeed. And I know it's fucking cringe. I hate to say the same shit everyone else says, but it's absolutely true. What I'm going to do in this part of the video is I'm going to put in a clip of something I recorded in my Hateful Tate series, telling you a story of one of my failed business attempts. So you can listen to that as well, and you can enjoy listening to me fuck up, because I fucked up plenty of times before I discovered a few things that started to work. So whenever I'm in Slovakia or Hungary, I drink these, because the first time I came to Slovakia, I had one at a petrol station, and they're like a drink with chunks of aloe vera in it. This must have been about 9-10 years ago. And now I've seen these a few times in corner shops and stuff. But back then, nowhere in England had drinks with aloe vera in it. So I was only like 21, 22, and obviously I was broke as a joke, and I wanted to get rich. So I thought, fuck it, I'm going to import these drinks. And I'm going to sell them in England, and I'm going to be a sole supplier. And I'm gonna get rich. So I found a contact in Hungary who could provide them to me for like, I don't know how much they were, 38p or something. I wanted to sell them for about £1. So then I started contacting all the superstores. I was watching Dragon's Den about getting distribution. I thought, this is hard. So I emailed Morrison's, emailed Waitrose, started emailing them every day saying I had some revolutionary new health drink that was guaranteed with all these bullshit results, and I promised them 100% markup on it. So I told them they'd buy it for 50p, so I'd make 12p per bottle, and they'd sell it for £1, 100% markup. Made out like I was a real company. I'm 22, I'm just writing away all these people. Eventually I get an email back from Tesco saying, because everyone ignores you, because everyone's trying to get their stuff into superstores, so they completely ignore you. Got an email back from Tesco saying, I'm away from my, as you know, I've now left the business and my replacement is Mr. Chris something is coming in to replace me. So I waited a couple days and I emailed Chris and said, hi Chris, we need to speak urgently. Your predecessor and I were one step away from achieving distribution, pretending I'd spoke to the previous guy who left, who never responded to me ever. So then Chris emails me like, oh, okay, you better come down then. So it was in Cheshunt, Hertfordshire, the Tesco head office. And I still had a normal job back then, so I arranged a meeting at like 5:30, finished work an hour early, walk into Tesco fucking head office in my Matalan suit with 4 or 5 bottles of this shit, which I brought in a backpack. Sat down there, let him test it all, gave him my pitch about health benefits, 100% bonus, and all this bollocks. He gave me a piece of paper saying how Tesco accept distribution, saying like, it needs to come X amount of bottles per crate, X amount of crates per container, like just all this expensive distribution shit. So anyway, he said he'd get back to me. So I fucking leave there excited as fuck, call up my guy in Hungary, says I need it in this many bottles per crate, this many crates per container, I need to be able to deliver this many containers per fucking week to Tesco stores, London, all this bollocks, da 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 da. My man in Hungary goes, okay, I can make this happen, da, 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 it's gonna cost this much, blah, blah. So I'm waiting, and Chris emails me and says, we need to talk about your drink, are you free to come in again? I was like, yeah, of course. Anyway, in the meantime, the guy from Hungary says, it's gonna take me 6 months to turn around preparing your distribution. I said, oh no, it can't be 6 months. No, Tesco want it now, Tesco want it now. He goes, well, I need some money to begin doing this. It's gonna cost some money, so you need to pay me some money. You want like 2 grand. And I had no money. I had my month's wages, about 1,600 quid, came the next day. So I remember borrowing £500 and my month's wages and sending it to Hungary, 2 grand. The day before my meeting, my big meeting with Tesco, so this guy could begin fucking pissing around with crates. Taking my last £100 to last me the month, now I'm 500 quid in debt as well. Filling up with petrol, putting on my Matalan suit, walking in there, sitting down with this Chris guy who was fat as fuck. I don't know what, of course he was in charge of choosing the food, fat cunt. And he's literally, the meeting lasted 30 seconds. He said, I'm sorry that my predecessor gave you the impression we were going to stock your product. Personally, I find it repulsive. And that was it. That was the end of my aloe vera dream. He never emailed me back again. None of the other superstores ever emailed me. I kept emailing, we've got different flavors. Wasn't interested. Completely blanked me. Everyone blanked me. The Hungarian guy took 2 grand of my money, and I was more poor than ever. So now when I drive through the continent in my Lambo, I enjoy an aloe vera drink. Personally, I find it repulsive. I remember sitting there thinking in my head, that was unnecessarily rude. He was unnecessarily rude to me because he thought he was important. I'm the fat dude who chooses Tesco's food. Cunt. Bet he ain't got a fucking Lambo. I might scroll through my email and fucking find it somewhere in the depths and send him a picture of me outside my Lambo drinking an aloe vera drink.
Surrounded by aloe vera.
Surrounded by aloe vera drink, a big booty hoe.
Absolutely, you're going to struggle to make money. So the first thing is this. When we're talking about mindset, talking about being pissed off you don't have money, talking about believing you can do it. All those things are essentially important. The reason we did the first video, in fact, if you watch this entire series once, that's fine, but you need to watch the first video at least 20 times because it's the mindset that's going to allow you to get anywhere else. So imagine you're starting from zero. You've now adopted my mindset. You've now started to learn how to fight, to get your body language right. Even now, even those 2 small things makes you a higher value person. Let me tell you something. You can go into a job and they're offering $20,000 a year, keep the numbers simple. If you've implemented the lessons I've given you in the first and second video correctly, and you sit there and say, listen, I'm the best employee you are ever gonna have. In fact, this is a fucking true story. I'm saying it like I'm giving you an example. This is a true story. When I was working sales jobs, I used to walk in there as arrogant as a motherfucker. Because if you run a company and you're gonna hire someone to make you money, to work for you and sell your product, you don't want some fucking guys like, well, I'll try my best. No, I was as arrogant as a motherfucker. I'd walk into a sales job, I'd sit down and say, okay, before we continue, we need to talk about pay, because I'm worth more than the money you're offering. I'm gonna explain to you why. But basically, I'm the best employee you will ever have. I'm guaranteeing you I will smash any sales record set by anyone else in that room. I will smash it. In fact, I will smash it to a point where I don't even want a basic wage. I want to be commission only. I want 3 times the commission that you're paying, because I don't take a basic. And I'm going to make more money than anyone else has ever made. You're going to pay me exorbitant sums of money. I'd sit there and say that to the MD, and the managing director would sit there and go, who the fuck is this cocky son of a bitch? But then he's sitting there thinking, well, if he's so sure he's going to make so much money, he's going to make me a lot of money. So they sit there and they test you. They say, well, why are you so sure of yourself? I say, because I'm the best. I'm the best salesman there's ever been. It doesn't matter what it is. I can sell ice to an Eskimo. I'm the best salesman there's ever been, and I'm going to sell more product than anyone else has ever possibly sold. And so if you hire me, you need to be prepared to pay me huge sums of money. You need to speak to payroll and make sure they're prepared to spend $20,000 or $30,000 a month in wages. It has to come to me, and I want it on time. I don't want a basic. I want my commission. I want it once a month. I want you to make sure you have the facility to pay me $20,000 or $30,000 in one transfer at a time. So you check that before you consider about hiring me. I'd sit there and I'd say this shit. I never failed a job interview. Never. I never failed a job interview. How do you get rich? I got the best jobs. I walked into jobs where you needed a university degree. I didn't have a university degree. I say, why didn't you have a university degree? Oh, I didn't even ask me that. I sit there and go, before we start, I don't have a degree. I know you see you need a degree for this post, but instead of spending 4 years in college, I spent those 4 years learning how to sell, so I don't have a degree. And they'd sit there and go, oh, okay, this motherfucker, he knows this shit. I didn't need a degree. I didn't need fucking college. I didn't need university. I didn't need nothing, because I had the lessons I taught you in number 1, the first video, and the lessons I taught you in number 2. I had the body language of a fucking winner. I had the mindset of a fucking winner, and they wanted a fucking winner on the team. How do you get rich? Well, fucking, it doesn't matter if you're going to end up eventually getting your own company, but I didn't get my own company until I was 25. For a long time, I worked normal jobs, but I worked sales jobs, because sales jobs allow you to make unlimited money. So I worked sales initially. But it doesn't matter if it's your own company. It doesn't matter if it's working for someone else. It's down to your body language. It's down to your mindset. Absolutely, that's how you get rich. Yeah, you're going to fuck up sometimes. So some of the jobs, I'd talk all this shit. I'd get the job, and I couldn't sell as much as the other guys. I started off, because I didn't know the product. I'm Mr. fucking Big Bollocks, and then I couldn't sell as much as the other guys. And they take me in and they say, okay, yeah, you sold some product, yeah, but you know, you didn't quite hit target this month. And then the MD, part of them was kind of like, haha, motherfucker, you're not as smart as you thought. But I just sit there and say, yeah, it's my first month. I'm still learning, but my promises have not changed. I'm a man of my word, and I absolutely guarantee you I'm going to smash this sales target. And I just stick there and stick to my fucking word, and I'd repeat the same shit over and over again. You know what? Those managing directors of those companies are probably sitting there going, this motherfucker's delusional. He's a little bit delusional, but he keeps trying. He makes the phone calls. He's trying his best. People would rather have someone who's too confident with delusion than someone who's living firmly in the real world. Oh, well, this is going to be hard because I don't know the product yet, but I'm hoping once I learn the product, my sales will go up. No managing director wants to hear that shit. Fuck that garbage. I'm going to fucking beat the record. I'm going to be the best there's ever been. You just got to give me a little bit more time to learn. I'm the badass. I'm the best person here. What's funny now is that I probably have more money than any of them MDs ever had, because I fucking meant what I said. I said that shit. I fucking meant it. I don't give a fuck. I meant it. This is not an act. I'm telling you how to do this, and you're sitting there thinking, okay, I have to act this way. It's not a fucking act. You have to believe it. Believe that shit. How do you get rich for real? Believe that you can do anything it takes to get paid. My business card. Like I said, we're doing this entire series without any cuts or any takes, so I'm gonna get my business card. Stay right here. I want to show you something. When I show them my business card, everyone laughs at it, thinks it's some kind of fucking joke. My business card is not a fucking joke. My business card is real. So you look at my business card, it says Andrew Tate, millionaire and all-around nice guy. And on the back it says, I'll tell you a very quick story. On the back it says, this is a quote of my dad's, my unmatched perspicacity coupled with sheer indefatigability makes me a feared opponent in any realm of human endeavor. That's a quote of my father's that he pulled out. In fact, because we got time, because you're sitting here learning how to be a G, let me tell you the story about a real fucking G. So I was in Detroit, Michigan, 3 in the morning in a gas station with my dad when these Mexicans ran in to rob the store. They didn't have guns, which is extremely surprising for America. They had bats and knives. They start smashing the store up, whatever. They get a little bit of money from the till, whatever. I'm standing in the store. I'm standing there with my dad. They leave. My dad says, "Stay here, son," and walks out. So I guess he was checking if they were still outside. My father was an interesting character. I don't know what. Maybe he was going to fight. I don't really know what his genuine intention was. I was too young to understand it. But I heard them attack him, so they were obviously still outside. He got attacked. Anyway, the police turn up 7 or 8 minutes later. My dad is badly damaged. He'd been hit with the bat, and they cut his face, and he's bleeding everywhere. But he didn't go down. He didn't get knocked out. In the end, in fact, they ran away because he had one of them has a permanent, because they caught him. In fact, I'm going to try and find a picture for this video because my dad had a picture of it. Had a permanent scar because my dad took a chunk out of his cheek with his teeth. Fucking ruthless shit. Anyway, the police officer turns up and goes, asked my dad what happened. My dad said, "I went out there to check it was okay for my son to leave, and they attacked me, and I fucking bit this guy's face off, and I fucked this guy up, and then they all ran off, and yeah, I've been cut, and they hit me with the bat, and da-da-da-da." And the police officer goes, "What's your job?" To my dad. My dad was a big guy. The police officer was a bit like, "What's your job?" My dad said, "I'm a chess player." And the police officer said, "Well, maybe you should have been something else, as in you should have been a cop, or you should have been a bodyguard or something." And my dad replied, this quote, my dad said, "My unmatched perspicacity coupled with sheer indefatigability makes me a feared opponent in any realm of human endeavor." That's how my father spoke. That's just how he spoke through life. So he was a fucking crazy guy to be around. But that quote, what he's saying is, my unmatched perspicacity, my ability to perceive things, coupled with sheer indefatigability, my ability to not become fatigued, I don't become tired, makes me a feared opponent in any realm of human endeavor. So that was my dad's way of saying to the police officer, "Fuck you. You think chess is bullshit? I can do chess and I can whoop these guys' ass. I can do anything." That's how my father spoke. So that's a very quick story. But back to my business card. I've put that on there in homage to the big G. But in the back it says, "I specialize in the following." And you'll see a whole list of tasks. A whole bunch of stuff on there that I specialize in. You can read it. Pause the video if you want. You can read each one. So, wars fought, modeling exposure, assassinations plotted, revolutions started. The list goes on and on. Tigers tamed, helicopter hire. When people read this and they go, "Andrew, you're full of shit." I'm not full of shit. I'm a fucking G. The point is, if you're going to pay me enough money, I'll get it done. That's always been my mindset. What's the key to becoming rich? Well, first, if you're ready to pay me, there's nothing I will not do. Sits here saying revolution started, people sit there and laugh. If someone's going to transfer me $1 billion American dollars, I guarantee I'll start a fucking revolution. I guarantee it. If you're ready to pay me my fee, maybe my fee is too much for you, or maybe you think I overprice myself, whatever. But if you're ready to pay me the fee I say I want, and you're going to pay it to me, I'll get it done. Pay me first, I'll get it done. If you want a rocket on Mars, no problem. Pay me. I'll set a price, 3.5 billion American. You give me 3.5 billion American dollars, I will get a rocket on the moon, one way or a fucking another. I don't care if I have to hire someone else to do it. I don't care if I have to fucking learn how to do it myself. I don't give a fuck if I have to become fucking contact some aliens with my fucking iPhone, WhatsApp them, say, "Look, I need help moving something to Mars." I don't care what it takes. If you're going to pay me, I'm going to fucking do it. Because if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And that's the point of my card. There's nothing I cannot do for a fee. That's the kind of person you need to be. What's the key to being rich? People need to know you as a fixer. They've got to think, you know what? This is the guy who can get shit done. Back in my sales career, and I quit sales when I'm actually a 4-time world champion. I was working up until the point I was world champion, because there isn't actually as much money in fighting as people think. When I became 1-time world champion, I retired, but I was working in sales up until the age of 25. When you become good at sales and you get a reputation as a good salesman, you can never be unemployed. And it's amazing how that reputation spreads. I had job offers weekly. Weekly, I'd have people I previously worked with who've become manager and want to get their figures up would call me trying to get me back. People who I'd previously worked with who'd moved to new companies and were putting a team together and wanted good salesmen on their team would call me. I was getting calls constantly. "Tate, come move for this one, we can sell this. Tate, come sell that. Tate, come sell this." Because I was the guy, I was the go-to guy to sell product. We have to sell product. We have to get our figures up. Who do you know who can get it done? Well, this Tate guy, I worked with him before. He's fucking crazy. He sells shit. That's who I was. And when I say what's the key to getting rich, so back then, I was taking home, I don't know, 10,000 a month or something. Like, to me now, that doesn't even cover my fucking car servicing and petrol. But to me then, that was good money. You know, in the real world, that's good money. So what's the key to getting rich? Because to most people, to even you watching, 10,000 a month makes you rich. That's rich. To me now it's not, because everything's scalable and your perspective changes. Now 10,000 a month would leave me very poor. But back then, it was a lot of money to me. So even then I consider myself rich. So what was the key to getting rich? The lessons I taught you in the first and second fucking video. The way I thought, the way I spoke, the way I carried myself, being a sayer, saying shit and making it fucking come true like magic. That's the key to fucking getting rich. Every single lesson you're going to go through in this course is going to fucking come back to the same things. Your fucking view of this world. The way you view the world. I view the world, and I genuinely believe I'm the baddest motherfucker on the planet. And everyone who calls me arrogant is not nearly as successful as me, so fuck them. I don't care. I'm the best. I am the best. And when I sat there, let me tell you something. When I did end up breaking those sales records, every other motherfucker in that company, there's a lot who couldn't stand me, but some of the other sales guys, they'd be like, you know what? I have to give you respect. You've come in here. You talk shit. You said you're going to be the best. You didn't even want a basic wage. And here you are. You just beat the record. I have to, hats off to you. You're crazy. I was like, yeah, no, I'm the fucking man. That's how you got to be as a person. That's how you have to be as a person. So when people talk about being prepared to fail, I think a lot of that is because people get put off by failure. You know, failure is one of those things that's going to hit you and it's going to stop you wanting to come back and try again. That's what really being prepared to fail is all about. And that's why the fighting is so important as well, because when you go and start wanting to fight, you're going to get your fucking ass kicked and it's going to hurt and you're going to feel like a dickhead. But you have to get used to just getting over that. You know, you got to get over it and get up and carry on anyway. That's why that's such an important facet of the G mindset, along with everything else I've taught you, the first 4 lessons of the mindset. But those things together, I'm telling you, if you get those things right, everything I'm saying to you is going to start to make sense. The key to getting rich doesn't have to be owning your own business. I know that's very unpopular to say. Owning your own business is fantastic. But in a lot of cases, owning your own business is more work than a normal job. People think, I'm going to own my own business, and then I'll be free to do whatever I want. No, if you own your own business, you're not free to do shit because you own your own business. You have more fucking stress than if you have a normal job. When you have a normal job, you go home, it turns off. You get your own business, it never turns off. So it's not really that clear cut. And I'm not going to be the guy who sits there and says, if you ever have a job, you're never going to be rich. That's bullshit too. You can go get the right job and the correct job, and you can end up being a very rich individual. There's CEOs of Kellogg's. You think he doesn't own Kellogg's? You think he ain't rich? He's fucking rich. He's fine. What I'm saying to you right now is that to make yourself feel more rich, to make more money than you currently make, if you doubled your income right now, you'd be nowhere near my income. Nowhere near. But you'd feel rich because you've been living for a certain amount of time on a certain income. How do you double your income instantly? Well, you double your income instantly by fucking implementing my mindset and going out there and either changing your job or going back into your boss and saying, you know what? I'm going to do a better job than I've ever done before. I'm about to do X, Y, and Z. I'm about to change this for the company. I'm going to do all of this. I'm going to do that for a month, and you're going to see how valuable I am, and then I want this much money. And if your boss goes no, say, fine, I'll find someone who will. I'll say, okay, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it all, and then we can talk again. If you're still not interested, I'm going to have to find other employment. Sit there. Revolutionize shit. Mix shit up. Do some fucking crazy shit, and you'll make more money. You want to feel rich? You can feel more rich right now. A number one piece of advice I give to everybody. They go, oh, what job, what industry? Sales. Find a fucking sales job, sit there, refuse the basic wage, demand double commission, tell them you're going to be the best there's ever been, and because you've implemented the lessons in the first video, when you say shit, it comes true. Be that guy who succeeds, then you'll feel fucking rich. It's all about mindset. It's all about how to become rich is a mindset. It's not about trying to get hold of money. It's about viewing the world in a way where you were such a high-value individual that things float to you. People were desperate to employ me. I didn't have to ask for jobs. They were desperate to employ me. Even now, when I first started my company, I needed an investment from a guy. I went to him and said, look, I want $200,000. When I go to someone and say, I need 200 grand, we're going to make some money, they want to give me the money. I don't have to convince them to give me the money. They want to give me the fucking money. They're like, okay, yeah, okay, 200? Okay, yeah, let's do it. Because they knew who I was as a person. So the key to getting a job, the key to being paid more, the key to getting investments, the key to this, all the fucking same. It's a mindset and it's a personality. It's who you are as a person. If you implement that at fucking the G mindset, you get that shit right, you're going to have anything you want. Then you want to start a business, you need an opportunity or an investment to do it, people are going to fucking give it to you because you have a reputation as someone who does not fail. Become someone who does not fail and you will easily become someone who is rich.